After several days on the run in East Texas, the man accused of shooting a Jacksonville police officer is now in custody. How that manhunt ended, just ahead on Morning Y'all.
Plus, investigators are on the ground in Louisville this morning after a UPS cargo plane crashed shortly after taking off on Tuesday. First responders sourcing the scene for victims. The latest developments just ahead.
And as the government shutdown continues, Kilgore High School students are taking action of their own. Coming up, how they turned a book room into a food pantry and are helping families in need.
And very dense fog in some spots this morning, which led to the issuance of dense fog advisories. We'll take a look at your full forecast coming up. So stay right there because CBS 19 Plus Morning Y'all starts right now.
Together, we're putting East Texas first. You're watching Morning Y'all on CBS 19 Plus.
The man accused of shooting a Jacksonville police officer and her canine is in custody this morning. 64-year-old Bobby Dennis was arrested last night in CUNY after 3 days on the run. He's surrendered in a wooded area where police found a makeshift bunker and a 9mm handgun, and Dennis now faces multiple charges. We'll talk more about that story in just a little bit. Good morning, y'all. I'm Jesus Martinez.
And I'm Dana Dixon. Thanks so much for joining us on CBS 19 Plus. Well, as this morning has gone on, the fog situation gotten worse across East Texas. It was just deep East Texas that's creeping up on all of us now.
Yeah, this fog is actually moving further to the north. It's expected to move further to the north as we continue on through the rest of this morning. So more counties now under this dense fog advisory, including Smith County, Gregg County, and Harrison County. This all goes until 9 o'clock this morning. Some very low visibility is expected here. Look at this. Absolutely incredible. Low visibilities here at Nacogdoches. This is actually looking at the SFA, the stadium at SFA. You cannot see it whatsoever. Maybe you can get a little bit of a hint of some trees out there, but man, we're down to 0 miles of visibility here this morning in Nacogdoches Center, San Augustine, even as far north as Henderson and Mount Pleasant. So some very, very dangerous visibilities that we're going to be contending with at least until 9 o'clock this morning. So folks, please be careful, use those fog lights and leave with a little bit of extra time if you have to go anywhere. Otherwise, fog should be burning off by 9 o'clock this morning. We'll see temperatures in the low 80s with partly cloudy skies. That'll continue on through the next couple of days. Small chance of rain on Saturday, and then a big change is coming up for the next couple of days after that. I'll show you what that looks like in your full 7-day forecast later on.
All right, Joel, thanks so much. After a tense 3-day-long manhunt, the man accused of shooting a Jacksonville police officer and her canine partner is now in custody.
64-year-old Bobby Dennis was arrested around 8:30 last night at a property on County Road 3509. Now that's west of Jacksonville's city limits in CUNY. Police say he was found in a wooded area and surrendered to law enforcement. Multiple agencies assisted the Jacksonville Police Department in serving that search warrant on the property. Dennis was arrested using the injured officer's handcuffs and then taken to the Cherokee County Jail. Police say they found what appeared to be the start of a makeshift bunker in the woods that was being used by Dennis. And they also found a 9mm pistol at the location.
This was all started back on Sunday. Police believe Dennis fired about 20 rounds at the Jacksonville police officer during the attack. The officer was airlifted to the hospital on Sunday, suffering a gunshot wound to her leg and her arm. Police Chief Stephen Murkowski says the officer did not draw her weapon during the incident and the canine was not deployed and never left the vehicle. A blue alert was issued for Dennis, but that ended last night with Dennis's arrest.
No, I do thank God that this ended the way it did. We were pretty certain where he was. I was hopeful that we would be able to find him. I was hopeful he would surrender as he did, which made it easier. Otherwise, we would have been on another manhunt just in a different location.
Dennis is charged with the following offenses: attempted capital murder of a peace officer, interference with a police service animal, and 2 counts of obstruction or retaliation. Now, Chief Murkowski suspects somebody helped Bobby Dennis, but he didn't go into the details as to how they tracked him, but he did promise charges will come to those who helped him. That officer, by the way, is still recovering in the hospital. The police chief tells us she underwent another surgery yesterday, but again is expected to be okay. That canine also went under multiple surgeries and is currently being taken care of by a Jacksonville police officer.
In Lufkin, detectives expect to charge the man accused of shooting a teenager outside Rodeo Disco with aggravated assault with a deadly weapon. Police say 39-year-old Luis Morales was taken into custody yesterday on unrelated charges. The shooting happened on October 18th. Officers found the teen in the parking lot and provided first aid until EMS got there. The victim is expected to be okay. Investigators say Morales reportedly confessed to the shooting, and a 9mm handgun was recovered from his home. Video footage shows him approaching the business before he fired shots, then fled the scene in a pickup truck. The East Texas man accused of approaching children in a diaper has been indicted for solicitation to commit indecency with a child. The incident happened back in July. Police say 46-year-old Wesley Worrell allegedly approached two 11-year-old girls with only that diaper on. The girls were riding their bikes near Pollard Park and Andy Woods Elementary in Tyler. A partial license plate helped police connect Worrell to the incident. Court documents show that he has a 25-year history of similar behavior, including public indecency and stalking. He was previously banned from Tyler Parks. Worrell was arrested in early August and booked into the Smith County Jail.
7:07 now, the death toll following the horrific UPS cargo plane crash in Louisville, Kentucky remains at 12 this morning, but officials have warned that that number could rise as this investigation continues. The
National Transportation Safety Board is now on site and has recovered the plane's black boxes. Lee Waldman is near the crash site in Louisville with the latest.
The debris field is a half-mile long, a line of scorched earth now running through local businesses that stood near Louisville Muhammad Ali International Airport.
The impact and intensity of the wreckage, of the charred wreckage, is unlike anything I've ever seen before.
Graphic video shows the moment the MD-11 transport aircraft operated by UPS erupted into flames shortly after takeoff around the airport, leaving multiple people dead, likely including the 3 crew members who were on the flight, according to the mayor. Videos from the scene show flames in an auto recycling yard and semi-truck lot in an industrial area nearby.
And right when she was FaceTiming me, a massive explosion occurred, and she said to me, the scrap office blew up, and it was like hell's fury. I mean, it was indescribable. People screaming, people running, people trying to help each other.
Investigators for the National Transportation Safety Board said the plane's black boxes have been recovered and will be taken back to Washington, D.C.
We feel comfortable once we get these to our lab in D.C. that we will be able to get a good readout of the applicable data, and that will be yet another point of information that will really help us understand what happened during this point of flight.
In Louisville, I'm Lee Waldman.
Local officials say power is being returned to over 100 customers. Air quality also being monitored. UPS's CEO sent a message to employees saying that our hearts continue to be with all who have been impacted.
7:09 now this morning. Time now for your morning headlines. If you drive a Toyota, listen up. The automaker is recalling more than 1 million Toyota, Lexus, and Subaru Solterra vehicles that have a backup camera. That's because a software issue could cause that camera to not work, increasing the risk of a crash. Owners will be notified next month, and Toyota dealers will fix the problem with a free software update. And these 3 Chinese astronauts have been forced to extend their 6-month stay in space because their return ship may have hit debris. The trio was supposed to return yesterday and even handed over the symbolic key to the Chinese space station to a new crew. China's space agency says the impact analysis and risk assessments are underway. And make sure to mark your calendar, Starbucks lovers. We are 1 week away from Red Cup Day at Starbucks. Customers can stop by any Starbucks to get a free reusable red cup while supplies last. Unite Starbucks workers are also planning on a strike on that day if the labor contract is not finalized by then. Meanwhile, the coffee chain's holiday lineup returns today as well, featuring seasonal favorite drink flavors like peppermint, mocha, and gingerbread, and the addition of 2 new pastries as well. And Jimmy Kimmel says his show team is forming a food donation center on their studio's backlot. It's in response to the threat to SNAP benefits for millions of Americans. He says the effort will support the Los Angeles Food Bank and other areas as well. And he's also encouraging people who can't donate to the Jimmy Kimmel Life Center to give to a food bank near them. Well, as the government shutdown continues 37 days long now, it is now pressuring those to rely on federal assistance for essential items like food.
And East Texas High School is stepping up, though, to lend a helping hand to those who are struggling. CBS 19's Will Riddell has more from Kilgore, where the Bulldogs are looking out for one another.
As the government shutdown drags on, becoming the longest in U.S. history, students at Kilgore High School aren't waiting on the adults in Washington to come up with a solution.
This room is the Bulldog Food Pantry. 3 days ago, almost, it was just a book room, but we saw a need with our students, and we knew that they were going to be hungry.
Brandy Parrish is a student council advisor at Kilgore High School. With the stalemate in D.C. now impacting those who rely on federal food assistance programs, she encouraged her kids to provide, and they did.
Just to see that the amount of books that were here is now replaced by food, and food that students have already taken a lot and they've already kind of helped themselves to it, and that we just keep replenishing it. It's crazy.
The Bulldog Food Pantry is supporting Kilgore ISD families who rely on programs like SNAP. When the pantry opened on Monday, over 20 students came to pick up groceries for their families.
We focused a lot on items that A, don't need to be refrigerated, and B, can be made super simple. So you just need to add water, or you just need to heat it up, some things like that.
The students running the pantry are now looking to supply more than just nourishment. They are planning on adding deodorant, toothpaste, and feminine hygiene products to the shelves.
As we expand and we get different hygiene products, come take it. It is for everybody. There's not a limit to how much you can take. There's not a limit to who can take it. It is for this school and it's for the community.
A dusty book room turned into a life-saving resource. Quite the assignment, but one these Bulldogs aced, leaving their teacher proud.
It's a dream job. I love them. And if I can point them to doing things for others and to loving people really well, then I can go home and sleep at night and feel like I did what I was made to do.
In Kilgore, Will Riddell, CBS 19.
Well, that's such a sweet mission they have going on. All right, well, it is National Nachos Day, by the way, if you didn't know, and people are celebrating and topping this classic food in every way possible. Some people stick to the classic with cheese jalapenos and maybe a little bit of salsa. Others go all out, piling on beans, guacamole, sour cream, and all the toppings they can find. And some really, really get creative with unexpected twists. And so whether you like them simple or fully loaded, we want to know, what is your ultimate nacho topping combo? And Joel, you said you haven't had nachos in a while.
It's been a while, but I seem to remember just having like beef and cheese and some sour cream on it. It was pretty good. Even some lettuce as well. Yeah.
What is your favorite protein to have with it?
Ground beef, for sure.
Mine
chicken.
Too.
Or
Yeah,
chicken.
that's also a good one, yeah.
I like all of the above. Like, if I'm going to go ground beef, I'm just going straight ground beef. I don't want to add in the chicken. But if I'm doing chicken, I like beef fajita to go with it.
I was going to say, it has to be like chicken fajita or some sort of fajita type of meat on the nachos.
Yeah, I don't like shredded chicken on my nachos. Some people do it that way, but it's not my thing.
It has to be that juicy fajita on there.
I feel like I'm pretty traditional when it comes to nachos. I want the guacamole, I want the pico, I want the sour
cheese,
cream,
of course.
the cheese. I'm like beans or no beans, yes or no.
I say no. It's already messy as it is, as it's coming.
I don't mind it.
Yeah.
It's
I've
pretty
seen
good.
I would agree with that.
At high school football games, I would see people eat them with forks. You're just going to get all messy with that. Eat it with your fingers. You have napkins for a reason.
I don't eat pizza with a fork, and I don't eat nachos with a fork.
That's a finger food for sure. Just get messy with it.
Just go all in.
Right?
I love it. Okay, now I want nachos.
All right.
Sounds good.
Joel,
to me.
you need to have some nachos. The fact that it's been that long, I just don't even understand it.
Yeah.
Make it simple, just cheese.
Yep, I really got to fix that. I think we got to fix that for
Right?
sure.
We'll bring some on the show.
Yes.
Well, how's the fog looking as people get ready to head out this morning? Is it getting worse or any better?
It's honestly, it's getting a little worse, especially over deep East Texas. We are expecting visibilities to drop a little bit further north, closer to the I-20 corridor. But at this point, not looking too bad at this moment. We got 2 hours over to Dallas and an hour and 30 minutes over to Shreveport. So some pretty normal numbers. I do expect some of these numbers to actually increase, especially as the fog starts to roll in a little bit more. But US 69 also kind of the same as it has been this morning. 2.5 hours up to Denison and up to an hour and 45 minutes, even up to 2 hours down to Lufkin in some parts of the area. Again, the fog is going to be a really huge issue for this morning. 55 minutes from Jacksonville to Nacogdoches, Tyler to Longview, still around a 40-minute commute. 55 minutes from Tyler to Palestine, and Tyler to Athens is up to 45 minutes so far this morning. CBS 19 live radar. All clear, not looking at any rain. It's just the fog that we're watching for at this time. Some low visibilities reported over in Marshall this morning. Down to 0 miles of visibility in Henderson, Nacogdoches Center. Also, San Augustine and Lufkin and Crockett as well. Very, very low visibilities. Again, this is actually expected to drift further to the north and also include areas like Tyler and Longview. So that's something we're going to be having to watch for into the rest of this morning. All of that will be burning off by 9 o'clock this morning, starting off in the 50s. Low 80s for this afternoon. Will be fogless this afternoon. Should be nice and dry for you.
All right, Joel, thanks so much. 7:16 this morning. From a two-time national champion to East Texas's Woman of the Year, this UT Tyler athlete is making her mark both on and off the field. Coming up, we'll take you through her inspiring journey and community impact.
It's time for CBS19 Sports.
Hello and welcome to Sports. I'm Jimmy Sierfos. We're glad you are with us. There are over 230,000 women who participated in the NCAA in the most recent count done by the organization. That spans across the country in Division I through Division III. And now one woman, she stood taller than all of them. She comes right here in Tyler, Texas. UT Tyler's Sam Schott is the winner of the Woman of the Year Award, which recognizes female student athletes who have completed their undergraduate studies and distinguished themselves in their community in athletics and academics throughout their college careers. Not only is she a two-time softball national champion, she's currently enrolled at UT Tyler's School of Medicine while pursuing her doctorate degree. As a Spring Hill graduate, she's an East Texan through and through and proud of it.
Yeah, it's just amazing because I truly believe East Texas is one of the hidden gems of not only our state but the country, and my community has helped me grow into the individual I am today. So just being an example for East Texas, being recognition for East Texas and my university, it's just undescribable feeling.
She played in 235 games for the Patriots, most in softball program history. She's also a three-time All-Region selection, a three-time All-LSC selection, and a two-time LSC Gold Glove winner while putting up a 327 batting average throughout her career. Sounds like a Woman of the Year, all right. Well, this week marks the final one of the regular season, and it's sad, I know. And for some, it means their bye week. So they already played all 10 games, and unfortunately, we won't be seeing them anymore. Starting with a very familiar team, the Tyler Legacy Red Raiders, who wrapped up their season last week against Forney in a 48-27 loss. It was a year where things got off to the wrong foot early, quarterback injury, but some bright spots showed. Shootouts with teams like Marshall and Texas High, a win in the Rose City rivalry. This is a young team. They're going to be okay. Tenaha, well, They just got stuck in a buzzsaw, didn't they? Top of their district includes Mount Enterprise, Lovelady, and Grapeland. Yeah, that's a tough one any way you spin it. Eustis Bulldogs, but we saw them for 4 quarters against one of the best teams in 3A when they played Malakoff in our stream game of the week a few weeks back. The Bulldogs wrapped up their season on a low end, but at the same time, their men's cross-country team finished in 7th, and their girls' team finished in 3rd just at state a few days ago. So there's something positive going down in Bulldog land. So as for these teams, well, we'll see them in the pads next year. Well, the NFL trade deadline has came and went. Deadline passed around on Tuesday. There's some huge moves being made, so let's check in on some East Texas favorites like Houston and the Kansas City Chiefs. Let's see what they did. Yeah, they didn't do anything. Texans traded Cam Robinson for a 6th rounder, I guess. That's kind of it. Cowboys, though, they got it moving all on the defense. And, man, did that defense need some help. And here comes Quinnen Williams, former all-pro defensive lineman, going to help bring some pressures to opposing quarterbacks and shore up that run defense a bit, something the Cowboys need like water these days. Then they grab linebacker Logan Wilson, who's going from the league's worst defense on the Bengals to the 2nd worst defense on the Cowboys. How about that? That's progress. Regardless, he should help that big-time tackling issue Dallas has had all season long when he gets healthy. Shoddy approved.
Kudos to Jerry and Steven and Will, and I think being aggressive but smart, because a couple of the moves we made, you're getting guys not just for this year but beyond, which I think is great, and it gets you excited as a coach, and I think it's 2 terrific players, but also terrific young men. And I've talked to Logan. Still need to reach out to Quinnen, but excited to see both those guys here and get them welcome to the family.
The boys currently rank 2nd to last in both yards allowed per game and points allowed per game, so anything helps right now. Cowboys got a bye week before playing the Raiders in Vegas next Monday, the 17th. Well, if you're wondering which version of Cooper Flagg you got last night, here's your answer. Earlier on in this one, nope. Here we go. Streaming it up court and toss it up. Thank you very much. How about the stare down finisher after that? Cooper Flagg getting busy with authority. Let's see it again. How about that? This one was close all night long. Check out this next one for the Mavericks. It's kind of a similar deal. Pump fake, layup, no good. Here comes P.J. Washington coming in to help with the slammer. Then Cooper Flagg got back to doing cool things. He had himself a night, 20 points, but in a losing effort. They dropped this one 101-99. Mavericks slide to 2-6 on the season. That's all I got for you. Morning, y'all.
All right, we're about to step away for a quick moment while we do a break-in for over-the-air broadcast with a quick news update.
We'll be right back with more here on CBS 19 Plus. Good morning, y'all. I'm Dana Dixon.
And I'm Jesus Martinez. Thanks so much for being with us for this news update. The manhunt for a Jacksonville shooting suspect is over this morning. After 3 days on the run, the man accused of shooting a police officer and her canine partner is now in custody.
64-year-old Bobby Dennis was arrested around 8:30 last night at a property on County Road 3509 west of Jacksonville in CUNY. Authorities found a makeshift bunker and a 9mm handgun there. Now, Dennis was arrested using the injured officer's handcuffs and then taken to the Cherokee County Jail, where he was charged with attempted capital murder of a peace officer, interference with a police service animal, and 2 counts of obstruction or retaliation. Police say Dennis fired roughly 20 rounds at the officer Sunday. Chief Markaski spoke about why the officer was in the area.
She was not there. She was not sent by anybody in my office to go serve a warrant. She was doing really good police work because she's a really good officer. She knew he had a warrant. She moseyed by the address. He was there. She got out because she's not a coward.
Police suspect Dennis had some help while he was on the run. Chief Markaski said charges are expected for anyone who helped hide him from police.
Well, the East Texas man accused of approaching children in a diaper has been indicted for solicitation to commit indecency with a child. Now, this happened back in July. Police say 46-year-old Wesley Worrell allegedly approached 2 11-year-old girls with only a diaper on. The girls were riding their bikes near Pollard Park and Andy Woods Elementary in Tyler. A partial license plate helped police connect Worrell to the incident, and court documents show he has a 25-year history of similar behavior, including public indecency and stalking, and he was previously banned from Tyler Parks. Worrell was arrested in early August and booked into the Smith County Jail.
Well, as the government shutdown continues, East Texans are stepping in to help make sure that local federal workers have food on the table. At Tyler Pounds Regional Airport, TSA and FAA employees have been working weeks without pay. This week, the South Tyler Rotary Club, along with local restaurants and churches, came together to serve free hot meals. Organizers say it's about taking care of their own and showing these workers they're not forgotten. They plan to keep those meals coming until those paychecks start flowing again. All right, it is a weather impact alert day because of all the fog.
Yeah. Drill, how's it looking out there?
It's definitely an issue for this morning. That will continue until 9 o'clock this morning. All this dense fog, hazardous visibilities. We're talking visibilities as low as a quarter of a mile, even down to 0 in some spots this morning. So if you're heading out, make sure you use those fog lights and definitely make sure to leave with a little bit of extra time. All of Deep East Texas, also including parts of the I-20 corridor, are within this dense fog advisory until 9 o'clock this morning. Most of the dense fog at this point is over Deep East Texas, but it'll continue to move further to the north, and we have some more counties again included in this dense fog advisory. So definitely take note of that as you head out the door this morning. Temperatures this afternoon will be in the low 80s. We'll see some partly cloudy skies all the way through this weekend. We'll have a small chance of rain for Saturday. Big cold front comes through by Saturday afternoon. We'll see highs as low as the middle 50s.
Welcome back to Morning Y'all on CBS 19 Plus. This is what's coming up in our second half hour. Smith County has struck a deal with ICE, but it's raising questions in the community about enforcement and fairness. Details coming up. Also ahead, a major cheerleading organization has filed for bankruptcy just as high-profile abuse cases are about to go to trial.
And we've got some dense fog advisories in effect for parts of East Texas this morning. More on that in your forecast. Plus, a huge change in our weather is coming up this weekend. You're watching Morning Y'all on CBS 19 Plus.
Together, we're putting East Texas first. You're watching Morning Y'all on CBS 19 Plus.
Good morning, y'all. I'm Dana Dixon. Thanks for being with us on CBS 19 Plus. Starting tomorrow, thousands of flights a day could be canceled in what the Department of Transportation is calling a proactive safety measure. That decision prompted by ongoing air traffic control staffing shortages and mounting airport delays due to what's now the longest government shutdown in U.S. history. CBS News' Jared Hill has more.
Our number one priority is to make sure when you travel safely.
Transportation Secretary Sean Duffy announcing an unprecedented plan to cut air traffic by up to 10% at the nation's 40 busiest airports starting this Friday. Duffy citing the impact the government shutdown is having on air traffic controllers.
We are starting to see some evidence that fatigue is building in the system in ways that we feel we need to work towards relieving some of that pressure.
A surge in sick calls from airport employees working without pay has led to delays in ground stops. The Trump administration warned staffing issues could get worse, with air traffic controllers set to miss their second full paychecks next week.
If the pressures continue to build, even after we take these measures, we'll come back and take additional measures.
Several major hubs, including those in New York, Chicago, Dallas, and San Francisco, could be hit.
It's unfortunate that workers aren't getting paid, but to reduce the flights, they have to come to a solution. This is not good.
President Trump Wednesday urged Senate Republicans to end the shutdown, arguing it hurt them in Tuesday's elections.
The shutdown was a big factor, negative for the Republicans.
Democratic leaders called again for negotiations, looking to include an extension to Affordable Care Act subsidies to any bill to fund the government.
Stop the bull. Sit down and talk to us.
But Republicans insist on reopening first. The stalemate creating a major airport slowdown just 3 weeks before the Thanksgiving travel rush. Jared Hill, CBS News.
Flight cuts will start at 4% this Friday and then rise to 10% next week as airlines work to meet FAA requirements. American Airlines says most passengers won't be affected and it'll rebook those who are, while United says it is offering impacted travelers multiple options, including refunds. An athletic trainer with Center ISD has resigned after being arrested on a charge of having an improper relationship between an educator and student. Police say they started investigating after a report involving athletic trainer Christopher Lemoyne. Center ISD confirms Lemoyne resigned immediately on November 5th. Superintendent Jake Henson said the district is working with both the DA's office and Center Police. In a statement, the district said it takes these matters seriously and is committed to keeping students and staff safe. Lemoyne was in the Shelby County Jail on a $250,000 bond, but he has since bonded out. Well, Smith County has approved a deal with ICE, but it's not a new partnership. It is a reimbursement agreement. The county will get paid back for training, equipment, and officer costs tied to the 287G program. The program lets trained deputies work with ICE to process people already arrested for crimes. During the commissioners' meeting this week, people raised concerns about racial profiling and transparency. Pastor Gilberto Avila says that being undocumented is a civil offense, not a crime, and urged compassion.
We say that we're a Christian nation, but we're calling criminals many Hispanic Christians, brothers and sisters. Many of them, they took care of your moms, they took care of your children, they mowed your lawns, they fixed your cars, and now we're turning the back on them.
Since I've been sheriff, since I've been in law enforcement, I'm in my 50th year. We've never done profiling. It never will.
Sheriff Larry Smith says 32 deputies are trained and all enforcement came from routine traffic stops, not targeting anyone for their immigration status. ARP ISD voters made some big decisions this week, approving one part of a nearly $10 million bond, but rejecting another. Voters approved Proposition A, a plan to expand ARP Junior High with 4 new classrooms and make safety upgrades across the district. However, they denied funding a multi-purpose facility in front of ARP High School. The space was planned to serve both district and community needs. Even without the new facility, district leaders say they are moving forward with the approved projects, focusing on classroom space and safety upgrades to meet the needs of students and staff.
We have to band together and advocate more for our public schools. And what I mean by that is, we need to be able to say the right words, the right way, the appropriate way, the way they need to be said, because we're the experts in the public school system. But instead, we have to tread carefully. We can't say things that emotionally compels or persuades the voter.
Despite voters rejecting the multi-purpose facility, Superintendent Dr. Shannon Arrington says that the idea behind it was to give students more opportunities and to keep ARP ISD competitive with surrounding districts. He also thanked the community for taking time and getting out to vote. Well, one of the biggest names in competitive cheerleading is facing its toughest challenge yet. Texas-based Cheer Athletics has filed for bankruptcy right before a jury was set to hear from 2 sisters who say a former coach abused them. Court filings showed Cheer Athletics Plano filed for Chapter 11 protection, listing up to $10 million in assets and liabilities. The move paused a civil trial brought on by 2 twin sisters from North Texas who say they were sexually abused by their coach years ago. Their attorney, who also represented 2 other anonymous victims, settled their cases with Cheer Athletics out of court. Those anonymous victims may now testify in this upcoming trial.
And I tend to believe that the threat of facing at least 4 victims, maybe others, in this jury trial that was set for this week was a factor in them deciding to declare bankruptcy at the very last hour.
Cheer Athletics says all gyms remain open while the filing allows it to reorganize after significant legal expenses. But declaring bankruptcy will halt at least 2 other cases against Cheer Athletics. Meanwhile, the coach named in the lawsuit has not been criminally charged. However, the victim's attorney says the allegations have been reported to law enforcement, and she hopes they take another look in light of what's happening. Changes are coming to Longview's recycling program. Mayor Kristen Ishihara says that residents now need to put out recyclables the day after the regular trash pickup. The shift aims to reduce contamination, which has reached about 80% since curbside recycling restarted this summer. Longview's new processing facility in Kilgore allows for more materials to be recycled, from plastics and cans to cardboard and paper, but no plastic bags. Ishihara says following the new schedule will keep costs down and the city's program will remain strong. As the government shutdown continues, East Texans are stepping in to help and make sure that local federal workers have some food on the table. At Tyler Pounds Regional Airport, TSA and FAA employees have been working weeks without pay. And this week, the South Tyler Rotary Club, along with local restaurants and churches, came together to serve free hot meals. Organizers say it's about taking care of their own and showing these workers they're not forgotten. They plan to keep those meals coming until paychecks start flowing again. Well, a sport most closely associated with the frigid climates up north and in Canada is gaining traction in our nation's warmest state. CBS News correspondent Christian Benavides shows us how and why ice hockey is heating up down south.
This hockey rink is not in Minnesota, Michigan, or Wisconsin. It may be the last place you think of when you think ice hockey. Florida. 14-year-old Leighton Baumel has been skating here for more than a decade. Lately, though, he's noticed more competition.
Would you say that the number of kids that are now wanting to play hockey has grown?
1,000%. Since the Panthers won their first cup, totally. Everyone's starting to get more excited and more inspired to play.
This year's NHL final was the 6th year in a row featuring a team from the Sunshine State.
While Florida's sunny image puts it at odds with the traditional ice hockey hub, Matthew Janis with the Florida Panthers says the growth is undeniable, particularly in the team's Learn to Play program, aimed at introducing young people to the sport and breaking down the financial barriers.
In the last 5 years alone, boys hockey's grown 48%, our youth boys. Girls has grown 63%. Here in South Florida, what people consider a non-hockey community, we have over 1,000 kids starting our game.
I want your heads up, your sticks down.
Jeffrey Baumel is Leighton's father and coach.
I remember we couldn't field, there must have been 2 teams. Now you can field up to 6 teams for each division. We have the best of both worlds. We have palm trees and the Stanley Cup. You can't beat that. Who wants to shovel snow?
The growth of youth leagues is something Washington Capitals player and Florida native Jacob Chikrin says would have allowed him to play at home longer.
Obviously, the success of the team is going to have a big impact on the kids there. I think it's great to see the game growing in these non-traditional southern markets.
Or as Leighton put it,
I think it's really cool, and it's great that hockey's finally getting the respect it deserves.
a sport that's found its footing on the ice in what some saw as an unlikely place. Cristian Benavides, CBS News, Fort Lauderdale.
All right, a unique piece of fashion once seen on the big screen can be yours for the right price. The green wool tunic with a white faux fur collar and cuffs worn by Will Ferrell in the film Elf is going up for auction. The costume features a pair of yellow fleece-like stockings and a pair of black leather shoes with curled toes as well. There's also a green pointed hat that has a yellow pleated sash and a red feather. Bidding for the Buddy outfit ends on December 5th. Elf was released, can you believe this, back in 2003, and many entertainment critics have since deemed it a classic Christmas movie.
I love Elf.
I would definitely say that. I'm one of those people, I don't know if I need to own a piece of the memorabilia, but like bring on me watching that movie as many times as possible over the next few months.
Seriously, yeah, no, I watch it every year, multiple times, alongside many of the other Christmas classics. I guess we can consider it a classic now.
Now you can.
That is really something.
It's
I
one
love
of your
that.
favorites though, isn't it?
Oh, definitely one of my favorites, alongside Christmas Vacation as well. That's
I love
a funny
Home
one.
Alone.
Oh,
I'm
Home
a Home
Alone.
Alone girl all the way.
Absolutely, I love Home Alone as well.
All right, meet 86-year-old Kimor Noor. Last month, she went skydiving for the 999th time. She made her first jump back in 1959 when she was just 18 years old. And after she forged her parents' signatures, Noor stepped away from the sport in 1967 to raise her family, but later returned to the skies in 2003. She looks so excited and not scared. That'd be totally different than my face. And that is when she set a new goal of reaching 1,000 jumps. She plans to make that milestone jump this week in Lake Wales, Florida.
That is a lot of jumping.
Look how peaceful she looks. I would be shaking in my boots.
Oh man, it's just, you know, it's just like us on air. We do it so many times, you kind of ease right in.
Cool and collected.
Yeah, exactly. You ease right into it.
I can tell you one thing I'm never going to do. It's that.
It's that. Probably me. Yeah, probably. I think I'm in the same boat.
Well, a sheriff's office in Salinas, California has a new honorary community ambassador. It's a mini horse named Cookie, rescued from a kill pen after a life of neglect. No longer, though. Cookie back then, thin, withdrawn, and missing patches of fur. But after bonding with Deputy Granados, other rescued animals, her playful personality began to shine. Now, with a flick of her ears, Cookie has officially joined the sheriff's office, visiting local events to help build trust between the community and law enforcement, and very stylish too. Look at those braids, right?
Those braids are amazing.
Looking good with another service dog right with her. The dog wants to play. She's like, listen,
it's like,
chill over here.
Right. It's like, come on, I have all this energy and let's play. It's like, are you a dog? You know, it's probably wondering if it's a dog. Like, what kind of dog is that? You know?
I know, it's so cute. I bet that really does help. You know, it like disarms people a little bit.
Oh yeah, for sure. Very therapeutic.
Animals have that way about them.
They do.
Well, be careful as you head out this morning, whether you're taking a walk with the dog or you're headed out on the road. The visibility out there, not so great.
Yeah, no, it is very, very low. I got our Nacogdoches cam up right now, and it is just absolutely foggy. Very, very dangerous visibilities out there. Take a look outside. Just seeing the tree right there. This is actually, you can kind of see it a little bit, but it's the stadium at SFA University here. It is very, very low. and temperatures right now matching the dew point at 57 degrees. This is a very key component in how to make fog. You have to have those temperatures and dew points in the same, at pretty much the same, meaning it's completely saturated out there. Winds also calm. That's another key factor. I mean, it's just a perfect recipe for some very, very dense fog. Lots of 0-mile visibilities here across the area. We're down to 0 in Marshall, 0 in Henderson, Carthage, all the way here around Deep East Texas. We got some more dense fog advisories issued for some of the counties along the I-20 corridor until 9 o'clock this morning. Here they are. Some of them have just been added this morning. This is advection fog, which means warm, moist air is going right over top the cold surface, and it's also moving further to the north, and so that's why some of these counties have been included. So Smith County, Gregg County, Harrison County, you are now included in this dense fog advisory until 9 o'clock this morning. Very dangerous visibilities as we head into the next couple of hours. Again, that'll start to fizzle away by 9 o'clock this morning. Should be A-OK for this afternoon. Partly cloudy skies, 80s all the way through the next couple of days. Small chance of rain on Saturday. Then a big change to the forecast is going to be coming this weekend. We'll talk about it in your full forecast coming up.
Thank you, Joel. Well, at Dallas's Hotel Crescent Court, football meets Taylor Swift in a colorful Swiftie event. Coming up, we'll show you how fans are connecting over pop, tea, and a little football. Well, Taylor Swift is not just dominating stages. She is taking over the NFL somewhat, too, with her fiancé, Travis Kelce. Tailgating may be for some, but for Swifties, it's time for tea. One Texas hotel has turned game day into a very Taylor celebration. Here's Natalie Haddad.
Hello, how are you ladies doing?
After a weekend and Monday night of football, some fans are still talking about the game while others are sipping on something new.
It's been really picking up and getting really busy. A lot of people are catching on to it.
On game day at Dallas's Hotel Crescent Court, football meets fandom in a quieter, more colorful way at a themed tea time called Swift Tea. The event blends two worlds currently sharing the spotlight, Taylor Swift and football.
They were nice enough to put the game on for us.
Inside the hotel's dining room, tables are lined with shiny teapots, delicate desserts, and plenty of nods to the pop star's eras.
We have things like I Knew You Were a Truffle Egg Salad.
For some, this connection hits especially close to home. A mother and daughter who came to the event say it is the perfect mix of their interests.
You know, fandom is a good place to live, whether it's Swiftie or football. It's something that we connect on, and you know, we maybe wouldn't have seen each other today if we hadn't seen this ad come up.
They also say the event gave them a reason to slow down and make time for each other, something that's not always easy during a busy week.
We got fathers and daughters, mothers with their children, friends getting together.
Between the music, the laughter, and a few nods hidden in the menu,
everything bagel has changed. It was good. Yeah, it's a fun one.
Swift Tea offers a quiet reminder that sometimes the best moments aren't just at the stadium, they're at the tab. In Dallas, I'm Natalie Haddad.
All right, good morning, everybody. Let's get into your forecast as swiftly as possible. You see what I did there? We got some dense fog advisories in effect for most of East Texas until 9 o'clock this morning, now including some of our counties along the I-20 corridor, including the cities of Tyler, Longview, and Marshall as well. Again, this goes until 9 o'clock this morning. Very, very low visibilities from this dense fog. This is a look at Nacogdoches. Very low visibilities there, and also just as low as 0 miles of visibility across much of the other areas here, much of the rest of East Texas, I should say. 0 miles of visibility in Henderson, Carthage, Marshall, all the way stretching as far south as Crockett. Quarter-mile of visibilities in Groveton, and 0 miles of visibility for Lufkin. So very, very dangerous numbers. You're definitely going to want those fog lights and to leave with a little bit of extra time for today. Temperatures starting out on a warmer note this morning, 50s for us this morning. And then upper 70s, low 80s by this afternoon. We'll end up with some partly cloudy skies. Then 60s to start your Friday. We'll watch for maybe some additional foggy spots for tomorrow morning because of how warm and how humid it is, really. So we're going to continue to watch that into tomorrow morning as well. Low to mid 80s for your Friday afternoon, falling back down into the upper 50s, low 60s. We had a low pressure area coming in. As we move into Saturday afternoon, could have a couple of showers over deep East Texas. It's really not going to amount to very much, but still the chance does exist for maybe a couple of showers, mainly again over deep East Texas. The biggest thing that we're going to be watching for the second half of the weekend is this big trough of low pressure. We got some of the coldest air we've seen this season. Lows in the low 20s in parts of the Ohio Valley, not quite as low there low here, I should say, in East Texas. Could see our first freeze, however, going into Monday morning. That's why we do have a weather impact alert for the first half of Monday. Could see some frosty spots and some freezing spots. So we're going to continue to watch that with highs also in the middle 50s.
All right, we're getting back to our question of the day because it is a National Nachos Day. I need to have that today. People are celebrating, but we want to know, how do you top this? Your classic nachos. Some people are just, cheese, maybe some jalapenos, salsa. Others will go all in, get a little creative as well. You said you haven't had nachos in a while.
It's been a while.
But if you did, tell me everything that's on it.
If I did, I would put some ground beef on there, some shredded cheese, sour cream, maybe some lettuce as well.
But you're no beans kind of guy.
Not really. Not on a nacho.
I kept thinking like maybe I didn't, but I think I like the beans first to like give it something to stick to. I feel like the cheese sticks better. If you've got the refried beans first and then the cheese, and then I can go either way with like ground beef or like fajita beef or fajita chicken.
Yeah, that sounds pretty good. Yeah, chicken. Like you can't. So you said you can't do shredded chicken though.
I don't love it. I'm not saying I can't do it. I can. I mean, I like food, but I mean, load it up for me. I'm like a loaded nacho kind of girl. Although, if you're out at the ballpark, I do like that nachos that comes with that melty cheese and some jalapenos. I mean, it's a different kind of nacho, but I'll take it.
Yeah, it's something simple for the ballpark, right?
Something simple for the ballpark, absolutely. We just want to hear from you. Go over to Facebook, tell us how you like to take your nachos, and we'll just continue that conversation, and I'll be hungry as we head into our day. Okay, we're going to step away for our over-the-air broadcast. We'll be right back here on CBS 19 Plus. Good morning, y'all. I'm Dana Dixon. Jesus Martinez is now on assignment. The manhunt is over this morning for the suspect in a Jacksonville officer shooting. 64-year-old Bobby Dennis was arrested last night in CUNY. That's west of Jacksonville, their city limits. Police say he was found in a wooded area with what appeared to be a makeshift bunker. Dennis is charged with the following offenses: attempted capital murder of a peace officer, interference with a police service animal, and 2 counts of obstruction or retaliation. Now, Lufkin detectives expect to charge the man accused of shooting a teenager outside Rodeo Disco with aggravated assault with a deadly weapon. Police say 39-year-old Luis Morales was taken into custody yesterday on unrelated charges. The shooting happened on October 18th. Officers found the teen in the parking lot and provided first aid until EMS got there. The victim is expected to be okay. Investigators say Morales reportedly confessed to the shooting, and a 9mm handgun was recovered from his home. Video footage shows him approach the business before shots were fired, then flee the scene in a pickup truck. An athletic trainer with Center ISD has resigned after being arrested on a charge of having an improper relationship between an educator and student. Police say this started the investigation after a report involving athletic trainer Christopher Lemoyne. Center ISD confirms that Lemoyne resigned immediately on November 5th. Superintendent Jake Hinson said the district is working with both the DA's office and Center Police. In a statement, the district said it takes these matters seriously and is committed to keeping students and staff safe. Lemoyne has bonded out of the Shelby County Jail on a $250,000 bond. In Kilgore, high school students are keeping students and their families fed as they navigate this uncertain time. The Kilgore High Student Council has launched a food drive to restock the school's food pantry. This started after the government shutdown began to help East Texas families. The pantry provides a confidential, welcoming space for students in need. As of now, the council is collecting canned goods and other non-perishable items. If you'd like to help, donations can be dropped off at the school's front office. All right, let's get a check of the foggy conditions out there, Joel.
Yeah, we got some dense fog out there, at least until 9 o'clock. So weather impact alert in effect until then. Also dense fog advisories for much of East Texas. Hazardous visibilities, a lot of locations down to 0 miles of visibility. So that's some very dangerous numbers there. Fog lights are definitely going to be a requirement out there, and also leave with a little bit of extra time. Here's the dense fog advisory across the area, basically along and south of I-20. You can expect some very low visibilities until 9 o'clock this morning. So that's what we'll be tracking until then. And then by this afternoon, we'll end up with some partly cloudy skies, temperatures in the low 80s. Same story can be said for Friday, and also a small chance of rain on Saturday. Then a big cold front comes through. We could potentially see our first freeze on Monday with highs in the middle 50s.
Time now for news before you go. The man accused of shooting a Jacksonville police officer and her canine partner is now in custody. 64-year-old Bobby Dennis was arrested last night west of Jacksonville in CUNY after evading authorities for 3 days. Now, Dennis surrendered without incident in the wooded area where police found a makeshift bunker and a 9mm handgun. He's charged with attempted capital murder, interfering with a police service animal, and obstruction. Transportation Secretary Sean Duffy announced a plan to cut flights by up to 10% at the nation's busiest airports starting Friday. The move comes as air traffic controllers face fatigue and missed paychecks due to the government shutdown, causing delays in ground stops. Major hubs in New York, Chicago, Dallas, and San Francisco could all be affected just 3 weeks before the Thanksgiving travel rush. And new details are emerging in Tuesday's deadly UPS plane crash in Kentucky. Surveillance video shows the left engine detaching as Flight 2976 hit 200 miles per hour, sending flames trailing before it crashed into nearby buildings. At least a dozen people were killed and some remain missing. Investigators have recovered the black boxes, hoping that'll reveal what caused the crash. All right, let's get a final check of your weather as you get ready to head out on this Thursday morning.
Yeah, just remember we got some dense fog advisories in effect for much of East Texas, basically along and south of I-20 is where you can find those dense fog advisories in effect until 9 o'clock this morning. So weather impact alert in effect until then, and then by this afternoon we'll be into the low 80s, partly cloudy skies. Same story for your Friday as well, becoming mostly sunny. On Saturday, could have a couple of showers in parts of East Texas, mainly over deep East Texas, where we're going to have the best shot for that. It's only running at about a 20% chance. A lot of us are going to be missing out on the rain, but all of us are going to be getting in on some cooler temperatures. Check out the huge drop in temperatures from Saturday into Sunday. We got 80s all the way down to the 60s, potentially our first freeze on Monday, possibly even some frost as well. So definitely want to cover up those plants. 56 for the high on Monday, bouncing right back to the 60s and 70s by Tuesday and Wednesday. Huge jump.
All right, time to talk about something good. Here it is. A prop featured in the 1980s, The Empire Strikes Back, is up for grabs. The EE-3 carbine blaster used by Boba Fett will be up for auction next month. The item could go for more than $900,000. My goodness. The auction, hosted by Prop Store, is set to take place in London. It will also feature Will Ferrell's Buddy the Elf costume, which we showed you just a little bit ago, along with items from films like Aliens, Back to the Future Part 2, and Goonies, just to name a few. The auction runs December 5th through the 7th. If you could have a piece of memorabilia from any of those movies I just mentioned, what would it be?
It would be the Back to the Future. I think it's the hoverboard from Back to the Future Part 2.
Yes.
Love to have that.
For me, Goonies is like one of my favorite movies of all time.
That's a good one.
I can't understand my kids don't love it as much as me, so I'd want like a piece of gold or something.
That would be cool. Hey, you guys!
I know. I love that movie.
It's such a good one. I love it.
All right, well, it kind of takes us back. Maybe we'll watch one of those. Elf. Gotta watch Elf.
Gotta watch Elf. It's right around the corner, the holidays.
It is. All right, thanks so much for being with us for CBS 19 Morning, y'all, and CBS 19 Plus. Please join us on the noon show. That's coming up in just a bit. And keep it right here for the latest news, weather throughout the day. Here's a look at what is coming up on CBS 19 Plus. We hope you have a good morning, and we'll see you dark and early on Friday.